Back to my channel, and today's topic is going to be on how can we restore the iOS or the startup configuration in case of any corruption in the router, right? So guys, you might have observed that some of the time like your router is showing into Roman mode. It means it is unable to load the iOS from the flash memory, right? So there may be different, there may be many reasons of this. Your iOS might be corrupted, so you can always restore the iOS from the backup. So when we talk about the backup, so your backup could be somewhere in the TFTP server. Normally we do keep the data into the TFTP server, or you might be having the iOS in your pen drive also. So in the today's lecture, we are just going to export the iOS into the TFTP server. Then we will delete the flash memory from the router. We will be deleting the iOS from the flash. Then we will try to restore the iOS from the TFTP server. And we will also be looking at how we can import the startup configuration. We will raise the startup configuration, and then we will try to import it from the TFTP server as well, right? So without wasting any time, let's deep dive into the practical, and let me just take you into the Cisco packet tracer. So as usual, let me just add one router from my list. I'm just going to select 2811 series router. Let me just name it as Chennai, right? This is just for your understanding, right guys? So now what we are going to do, we are just going to take one server also. From the end devices we have a server, and for your information guys, let me just make the connection first, then I'll just guide you how we can enable the TFTP server in the server environment, right? So let me just open the server, and if I'll go into services, you can find one services called TFTP, right, on my Extreme Light. As you can see this TFTP, so by default it is set to on only, right? As you can see this, these are the different file which are already available in my TFTP server. So I'm going to make use of the same TFTP server, and I'm going to export my iOS from the router and the startup configuration into the TFTP, and the same will be reused for importing it so that router can be up and running, right? So as usual, first of all, we'll have to assign the IP address to these devices, right? Let me just take this as 172.16.0.1. This is going to be the IP for my router, which will be set into this interface FA0/0, and I'm going to assign one IP to my server also. Let me just make it 2, right? Let me just go into this interface. Let me now open my CLI. I'll enable it. Let me just go to the global configuration mode. Let me just assign one name, Chennai, right? Let me just write the configuration with the help of this do write command. Now let me just show you what all things are available in my flash. How we can see that? Do show flash. So as you can see that there are 3 4 files are available in my flash memory. So this is the iOS, which is having the extension .bin, right? And similar to that, we have some XML file also. So we have nothing to do with these XML files. We will be only concentrating on this particular iOS software, right, which gets loaded whenever we just switch on the router. So this gets loaded into the memory, right? So we will try to back up this bin file into the TFTP server first, then we will delete it from the flash, then we will import it from the TFTP. So this is the agenda of the day, right? And as I told you in the beginning, we will also be importing these startup configuration, which will be from the TFTP server also, right? So we have given the name of this router, and let me just create some VLAN also, VLAN 10, sorry, conf t, right? Do show IP interface brief, right? So IP, let me just assign the IP to my this, right? Interface fa0/0 IP address 172.16.0.1, 0.1, and the subnet mask for class B address, that is 255.255.0.00. Do right, right? So this is saved. Do show IP interface brief. So IP has been assigned to my interface, right? Perfect. So do right. Configuration has been saved for now, right? Perfect. So let me just assign the IP address to my server also. I'll just go to desktop, IP configuration 172.16.0.2, right? Let us save it. This is saved. So let us check the communication. Before checking the communication, I just need to make this interface up by using the no shut command, interface fa0/0. Interface fa0/0 no shut. Now my interface is in the upstate. Let me just try pinging from my end device. I'll just go to the command prompt and I'll make use of this ping, ping. Ping is a tool, right? I'll just give the IP. So the connection is successfully established. I can see that pinging is happening, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy the flash. First of all, let me just go to the privilege mode, show flash. So as you can see, this is the iOS file, right, which is there in my flash memory. So I'm just going to copy this to my TFTP server, right? Okay. So TFTP server is already on, as I have showed you in the services. If you click on TFTP, then this is already set to on. You can off it also. It is already set to on, right? So I'm just going to use this. I'll just go to the router. Here I am just going to make use of this command, copy flash TFTP. Let me just make this command understand to you. I'm going to copy from flash to where, TFTP, and I'll say enter. Now it is asking me for the file name, right guys? It is asking me for the file name. So the name of the file is this. So you can just copy this. Just select it and right click and copy. Don't press Ctrl C because it won't work that way. You just need to right click and copy. Right? I'll put the file name here. Right click and paste. So this is the file name. Address or name of the remote host. So now this time it is asking me for the TFTP server IP address, which is this. So I'll specify the IP address 172.16.0.2 and I'll say enter. Destination file name. It is asking me for the destination file name. This could be the same file name, or you can just put the name as per your wish. I'll just say 2811.bin. So guys, you just need to make sure one thing is that, like, whatever you type it here, whatever the file name you are going to give it here, it should be in the same order while importing it. Let's say if you have made use of 2811.bin, bin is in small letters, so whenever you will try to import the same file, so this should be in the same way, right? If it is capital, then you have to type it capital only. If it is in lowercase, then you have to use the lowercase. Then only this file will get imported. Enter. As you can see this, it is getting imported, exported into the TFTP server, right? So this is exported. 2811.bin is the file name, right? As you can see this here, right? So I'll just go into my TFTP server. I'll just go into services. I'll click on TFTP. As you can see this has been exported to my TFTP server with the name 2811.bin. So as discussed in the beginning, we are also going to export the running startup configuration from router to this TFTP server, right? So copy startup config to TFTP, right? Address, again the IP address of the server, TFTP server, right? Destination file name, what file name you want, like startup config file, let's say config file, right? Copied, right? So we just need to make sure that it is copied here also. Config, C capital, config file. So both the things are available here, right? So guys, we are going to delete the flash from this router, right? So flash, as you can see this is the file name. Let me just copy this, because I am going to delete this and I am going to reload this router. Then you will see what is the error message we are getting. It is going to take us into the Roman mode, right? Delete flash, right? File name, it is asking me for the file name, right? So this one I want to delete. It is asking me for my confirmation. Do I really want to delete this? I'll say yes. So this has been deleted. If I'll say show flash, so as you can see this, that file is not available here, right? So if I'll reload this, then there is going to be an issue. I won't be able to see this after the reload. I'm just going to reload the router. I'll say yes, proceed, yes. So guys, as you can see this, it is going to take me to the Roman mode, right? Now I'm unable to load it. If I'll just close this also, it is showing me the same thing. Let me just power it off and power it on and CLI. See this. Now I have to restore the iOS and the startup configuration from my TFTP server. To do this, I have to make use of one command, tftp dnld, right? Press enter. Now you have to follow the process. The following variables are required to set the TFTP. Now you have to follow this. These are the parameters you just need to assign, right? IP underscore address. You just need to make sure that you have to make use of equal. Here it is not showing you the equal, so you have to make use of equal IP address. So first of all, it is asking me to assign the IP for this router. So what was the IP? So IP was 172.16.0.1. Next thing is IP underscore subnet underscore mask. So it should be in the same way, mask, right? So it's class B, so the mask would be 245.245.0.0, right? Default gateway, is going to be the same, 172.16.0.1, right? TFTP server equal to 172.16.0.2, right? tftp file. Okay, 2811.bin. As I told you in the beginning, we have to make sure that it should be in the correct order, otherwise you may get error. 2811.bin. So the bin was written in the lower letters, so I'm going to make use of the same thing, right? Then again you have to type tftp dnld. Do you wish to continue? Say yes. So guys, as you can see this, it is importing the iOS from the TFTP server. As you can see the process, it is getting imported. Now it has been imported. Program flash location this. So now what we are going to do, we are just simply going to reboot the router. I'll just switch it off and switch it on, and CLI. So my router is getting rebooted, as you can see this, and I hope it will take me to the user mode, right? Right, so it has loaded, and enable conf t do show IP interface brief. So everything is all set, right guys? Configuration is already available, right? But we are just going to delete the startup configuration also. Then we will try to import it from the TFTP server as we discussed, right? Erase. So we can erase the startup configuration with the help of erase command. Startup configuration, right? Confirm. It is asking me for the confirmation. Yes. Let me just reload this. Yes, I have reloaded it. Enable conf t do show IP interface brief. Right, 1 second. Erase startup config. Let me just check this. So it seems to be a bug. 1 second guys. Show IP interface brief, right? No worries. What I'll do, I'll just show you how we can import the startup configuration from the TFTP server also. Let me just assign one IP interface conf t interface fa0/1 IP address 1.1.1.1 255.0.0.0. Do right, do show. Right guys, as you can see this, I have assigned the IP address on both of my interface. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to restore the startup configuration from my TFTP to my router, right? Okay, great. So let me exit this, copy TFTP flash file name, address or name of the remote host 172.16.0.2, source file name config file, destination file name, let it be same. So it's copied. Show flash So guys, can you see that? So I have this config file available in my flash memory, which has been copied from my TFTP server. You see this? The file name was config file, and I have the same file here, config file. So guys, I hope I have made you understand how we can restore the IOS from the TFTP server. In any case, like if your IOS is getting corrupted, or you may keep this into your pen drive, so the same can be restored at any given point of time, right? So thank you for watching my video, and I would again request every one of you to please subscribe to my channel if you like the content, and I would also request you to please press the bell icon so that you will be getting all the notifications related to my videos, because I'm just going to upload such kind of videos on regular basis. So thank you very much, and hope to see you soon in my next video. Thank you.